test this out. I think the angle was wrong for the other side. So we're going to do it this way. Just get this together. Hold on a second. Okay. So I have to pre-plan. Okay, what I'm basically doing is two different angles. One is going to be obviously the vertical, and the other one is the landscape. The one with the landscape has the better quality because of this mic. And the other one has this mic, which is the Rhodes, which is, I don't know, it's just a newer version. The Bluetooth version, I'm not completely satisfied with it, but we work with the situation. So the new updated phone uses the Rhodes because the other one is not being able to use. I can't use the other one, versus this one, which works very well for the older versions of the equipment. So I'm always a little bit early. I don't know if it's just what I do. And I have my music equipment covered because I don't think it's a day for, I mean, I'll put some music on in the background. But I wanted to talk about the authentic side of things. I know that YouTube is pushing out those vertical shorts. I also know that they're trying to become the next TikTok, which bothers me just a little bit because it wasn't like that before, and there's always this reinforcement that everybody has to use their music, just like what happened on TikTok and Facebook. One of the reasons why I had a problem with those platforms was because that reinforcement that people were supposed to use their music, and I was like, I'm not doing it that way. So the music that I use is all mine. I don't do the trendy sounds because that's not authentic, right? And the moment those songs are like removed from the list because the companies above them say we don't want those on the channels anymore, those videos that you had the music for are like totally finished. Totally finished. And then you're left with like no original content. So in the end, those thousands of videos that people have done with those music pieces are basically, they're not going to help you get monetized on here. That I can tell you for sure. Guaranteed. And shorts don't make the money. Okay, the landscape makes the money on here. Let's just be very clear. Shorts only give you a short spurt, but it doesn't do a whole thing. Okay, now that I've had my little chit chat about my personal feeling on the shorts and how I think YouTube is trying to actually work towards becoming the next TikTok, which really bothers me for the vertical section. So I'm doing both. I'm doing a whole bunch of things, and I just feel that was important to say because I have issues with that. Okay, now I was working on this track, but let me put another track on that I had on before. Save. I'm not going to be working on music. I am focused on the book side today. What am I doing here? Open. I'm just going to play this song. Yeah, close. Okay, so I'm just going to play the tracks that I have, just because that's what I do. So the vertical is not going to have the better sound. The short feed is not going to have the better sound. The better sound is going to be on the landscape. So if you want to hear the better quality, I'd recommend you jumping to the landscape version if it's going to be a problem. Okay. So my talk today is about books because I worked very hard on making my books happen by myself, independently, on my own. I am the publisher. I run my own LLC. And for me, this was a big deal because during the time of me producing these books, I was borderline on, I was in the music as well. So I did a lot of projects while I was working in the office environment, right? Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. Welcome in. Red violet eyes. Well, welcome in, folks. Thanks for popping over. So it's definitely a book day, and I've also published it on my own business page, because if everybody's stressing out about jobs, there are ways to go about doing this. You can actually make your own work, right? That's like the other way, but you have to put the energy, just like a job. You have to put the work into creating your own job from home, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I work from home. I am the boss. Let's put it that way. I'm my own boss. Where's my, hold on a second. Let me just go into, oh, that's interesting. Good. Okay. So this is a website that I built a long time ago, 2003. I've modified it over time, but you can use this website now and utilize that to create digital online products, which wasn't necessarily a thing I focused on before. I was focused on physical products, just like Poshmark is physical products, but I also know that the digital world has become huge because we know that we're only scrolling on the phones these days, right? That's all we do in our lives. We just scroll. We scroll and we observe and we absorb. So these sort of go out the window. But to have the basics, to understand how to put these together, you have the master script. This is like a script, right? I call myself a director because I do know how to write scripts. These are things that I've produced and put together. I have people who have done movies and stuff that I know, and who have been in the film industry. I studied with them, so that's part of it, right? So that's the whole thing. But I chose another path. I chose the path of being a creative. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you can see the images, I'll just screen in. Just bringing it over a little bit. Bring this down. Okay, so you guys can see what's going on here. I don't know why that's not. Hold on a second. Yeah, that works. Okay. I need to bring that over. Okay, and with these, like the video that you saw me do recently of that, let me just bring this, I guess it's easier. I think this is too much. The video I just did, the little AI video, I used some of these images to create my images with the digital stuff. But the first book that I have here is basically a book that did not come with, I don't know, but the quality, this is by hand. The first one is by hand. Let me just see, let me show you. Let me just put this aside, hold on a second. So this first book, this was hand-drawn. Not all of them are great, but it shows you the hand-drawn versions of, I don't know if you can see it, I really don't. Hand-drawn, okay, hold on. That's on the screen. The screen is much better than what I found. Why is there an echo? What's going on with the echo? Why do I have an echo here? Much better than what I found on when it was printed. This is Amazon. These are on Amazon, okay? These are Amazon printed books. And honestly, the quality is not 100%. So the drawings that you do is just gonna look smeared. The quality is not gonna be that great. So I tested it out on the book. And I mean, it's okay. This is hand drawn. This is not the perfect drawing, but this was a painting. These are paintings that I did before. And then I also found that when I moved into photographs, it printed a bit better, right? It printed a bit better, but it wasn't. So all of these images now are now found on my site that I built. Okay, and I've made them into digital formats. And I don't think people really need books I mean, we need books to read, but we don't walk around with like stacks of books like we used to back in the day. back in the day, we used to use lots of books. I used to read lots of books. And the idea on these books that I'm doing are basically nostalgic books of animals, obviously, and also, yeah, Coco the Silver. They're both based off of pets that I've owned. So that's another thing. If you guys are trying to like find something to do and try to earn money, you could build a book up off of your pets. That's what I did. I built books off the pets that I have or had, past tense. And then you have memories of your fur babies, right? That's like an important part. And everybody's like, "Oh, these pet videos. Everybody loves the pet videos." I was like, "Well, that's great, but a book you would probably make more making a book of your pet than you would trying to go viral on one short, guaranteed." Okay, so I do recommend being kind of like creative when it comes down to planning a vision, right? Don't just wait for the universe to drop something on your lap. Be creative. And I also teach art. Okay, I studied art to teach art. And this is coming from a teacher's perspective in the arts world. I do art teaching and music teaching, and I do both. That's what I do about this channel. This is why I understand both sides, is that I actually have qualifications to teach both the music and the art. Okay, so coming from an art teacher's perspective, who uses graphic design and drawings and AI now, because AI is like the new like tech stuff that they do with all these things, I think it's important to acknowledge that we're going digital, folks. We're going digital. I don't think we're going to be back. I mean, you can go to like libraries, and I'm sure people still go, but I think everybody's literally on their phones, that they just don't, they like scroll. So these items, if you're interested, one of the books is about Coco the Silver Somali. This is one of the older ones. I think I came up with this in this one. This one came up with, I created this one. Does it give a date? I don't know if it gives a date. First published 2020, so that's a while ago. This is when I first published this one, okay? So this was before AI was even like a thing. I was doing everything by hand. Honestly, it wasn't like, I used black paper for some and then white paper for other sections, and it was just an interesting kind of like collaboration of how different types of papers would work on print. So this was like a testing ground, right? I was testing to see what I was able to do, but that's like one of the better drawings, right? So that's what we have here. And then this one was photographs and a little bit of digital art in the background. So also so these are original photographs of the actual fur babies, right? These are the original photographs. So I just think that's, when everybody panics about, oh, we don't want to work. Well, like if you don't want to work, first of all, in order to get, let's go into the question of Social Security. Okay, in order to get your Social Security credits, nobody ever talks about this. In order to get your Social Security credits, you need to have a certain amount of work hours for the United States to qualify for Social Security. It's not an instant thing, folks. Like at the end of your lifespan, probably by the age of 60, and you don't have any credits because government gives credits, potentially you will end up with nothing. No credits. So the whole point of working in a little bit, it doesn't have to be for the whole lifespan, but a little bit is to get that credit so you can get Social Security if it ever is like a thing in the future. But that's, thank goodness I worked at the age of 15 all the way up to this very point. My leg has caused me to change my lifestyle to work for myself because of what had happened to me. But Social Security is like you have to work a normal job, 9-to-5 job, to earn that credits. And technically you're supposed to receive, by the time you're 60, you're supposed to receive 42 credits in total. And by the time you're like 20 or something, you should have at least 24 credits or something like that. But it's not ever anything people think about. Like, I don't think people think about this, but because I'm getting older, I obviously think about these kind of things. It's like important to keep in mind. So work credits, you can create work credit. You probably could start your LLC, earn the money, and then put the money back into your taxes and then pay for your own. But it's gonna, I don't know, there are like a lot of things that you have to jump some hoops in order to do that. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm not doing music. It's not an entertainment channel. This is an educational channel. Just because I have music and I have cool things and color. If you want to do this stuff, I've made all of my things, okay? This is everything I've made and built and put together. So it's about building things from scratch. Building things from scratch. Okay. Just some few images from the book. Some information about what it is. I know that this is reversed. So it is a mirror image. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can change it until I reverse the actual phone or the iPad to the other way. So it's going to be backwards, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys can read that, but yeah. Okay, so if you want to learn, and these images, the images that you see here are the ones that I just used to create my little AI kind of movie. So creating a book, okay, if you want to take it into the question of movie concepts or video concepts, is that the storyboard comes with, like, you need to write down a story and create like an imagery, and then from there build it onto like a movie or an idea into a concept that could potentially become like maybe a 2-hour thing. Okay, and we know that everybody says, oh, YouTube is like the new, I guess it is probably the new Hollywood, but it's an old space. It's like from 2000, I think it first came about in 2006, 2005, maybe 2005. I was doing my master's in 2005, so I can track my time back to college, university, during the time YouTube came out. Okay. And as an art teacher, okay, coming from an art teacher perspective right now, creating something like this is like basically creating a storyboard for yourself. So if you want to create a video or a cartoon, you have to come up with something that's physically, like, you can see it, so you can then analyze, okay, these are the things I want to take out. Those are the kind of drawings I want to use. That's the kind of AI imagery I want to kind of play with. All the stuff that I do is not just coincidence. Okay, I'm not just leaving it up to technology to do it for me. I think a lot of people don't understand that there's actually work that goes into manifesting a vision and then tackling it onto a channel. Okay, that's how it's done. It's not, oh, let me tap in a couple of things and see what works. It's more like, well, let's figure out a vision, analyze the concept, and then tackle the vision, and then make it happen. So those 13 to 14 second shorts that I do actually take me 2 or 3 hours to kind of visualize and analyze. It could be even taking me the whole day. So those in the end take work. It's not just a let's play and make it happen. It really is taking me time to build that together, and I'm coming from a perspective of actually somebody who draws by hand. So I learned these skills before I moved into things like AI, okay? And that's basic. I think AI came out in 2021, 20? Yeah, 2021, because I was drawing by hand, and this one I incorporated digital art. But photographs. So I found that Amazon printing is not as stable as I expected. The imagery that you find on the digital images are absolutely gorgeous, though. They're really, really nice. So if it's directly from the screen, you get a better book from that. Then, I mean, you can. This one, the unexpected friendship, okay? This is called the unexpected friendship. I set it up where you could have both pages where you open it up and you have them like connecting, right? The like it's not like, oh well, some pages are like that, right? It connects the pages. So in certain sections you'll see that if you do end up buying this eventually, or if anybody's interested, this there are 2 or 3 imagery pieces that look like they're separate, but in fact, because it's from the book layout, it actually is set up accordingly. Okay, it's set up where you have the images that are placed together. So this book actually turned out reasonably well for Amazon. I was sort of happy with it. Was better than this one. This one was okay, but I just feel as if the printing was not as good. So just my personal take on drawing by hand with Amazon, and then using higher quality images like photographs or whatever. Like these are photographs for the other one. So it's just your thought, just my thought on this. But setting up your own website, if you guys don't want to work, you got to work for yourself then. You got to learn how to build your own sites up. And I'm telling you right now, if you haven't worked, you don't know how much money you can make. You can definitely make more money than going viral. I'm sorry, folks. And I know everybody's like, oh, you can be popular. I was like, well, yeah, but then have you thought about the other side? Like, what happens when you reach the other side? So much drama. Like, who needs that drama, really? So that's what it looks like. So I've placed them. These are digital store. This is my, hold on, let me just go back to my thing over here. I should probably adjust this, but I've been changing my sites like regularly. Let me just go to my resume, and I have a whole bunch of things here. So if you want to learn about me, wearable art, private music classes, art classes, I think that's on another section. Graphic design and arts, I don't know what this is. Oh, yeah. Some car paintings that I did a while ago. Yeah, okay, that's cool. It has some information. This is the older sites. My newer sites is a little bit more, caters for like an easier, let me just see. Sorry. One moment. I always need lozenges when I'm talking like that. My throat's always dry when I'm talking. I'm not really much of a talker, but okay, I'm talking now. I'm more an action taker, so I'm talking now because I think maybe this is the time to talk, right? So build your website. You know, don't just sit and play video games. I can't stand video games. People always love video games. I was like, unless you're learning how to build a website, then the video game becomes pointless. That's just my personal opinion. Websites should be led from learning the skills of, I guess a video game is good because you're understanding how to use tech skills, right? Just expand onto that and build a business. That's all. Build a vision. I'm trying to go to. Oh, that's like when I first got back. So I have my old pictures on here too. It's also like a. No, my resume can't be seen here, but that's okay. I hid it for a reason, I suppose. Just some info about me. Oh, why this link is farther out there, I don't know. I have to fix that up. Okay. Home. And then you can link all your other sites, whatnot. Where's my WordPress? I linked my WordPress, not WordPress, here's the site. I linked my, yeah, and we're gonna click onto this. So you can make as many sites as you want. Once you have the basics, you could kind of figure it out, right? Yeah. And then it shows you, like, it gives you more information about who I am, what I do, why I do the certain things. But this is, I don't always, like, the website stuff I don't always talk about because I think that it's sometimes automatic. Like, I think people should automatically know how to do this. At this stage, I don't generally think it's like something, yeah, see, and then I put all these little $60 for my music classes. Honestly, that's real. That's how much it really costs. And then it costs $100 to actually produce music. Like, if anybody asks me to produce their tracks, that's how much it costs in a studio space, okay? So these just imagine if you were having to do all sorts of things and you were trying to be like your own individual self. I would have paid fortunes for somebody else to do all of this stuff for me, but thank goodness I did everything by myself and for myself, that I didn't have to worry about hiring somebody else to do my music, hiring somebody else to do my website, hiring some author or writer to write my own books. Like, I learned all this stuff on my own, or did all this stuff on my own. This is partly because of the jobs that I had before. Like, I think if I didn't have the jobs I had before, I don't think I would probably know half the things that I know and focus. Focusing is important. Okay, but this is the website. Okay? So you can definitely take a look at the sites. My links are, if you go onto my channel, at the top where it has links, you can check every single one of the links, and I can pretty much tell you that all the links that I put together are all the ones that I've put together. Okay? I've had to figure out how to navigate everything. And this would have cost a fortune if I had hired somebody else to do. Like a whole team. People had to ask, can we help you? I was like, no, I can do it myself. And by being so resilient and resistant for hiring other people to do it, I learned how to do it on my own. So there is a benefit to being like self-motivated, is you don't have to pay people fortunes to do things like this for you. You can just do it for yourself. Right? That's basically it. So it's not a long talk today, but I think it was just important to I think people need to acknowledge the time and the effort that it takes to put everything together is no joke. Like, you got to start charging. I have to start charging more for my time, right? My energy and my time. Okay, music classes. I think this gives you more like a detailed description. But I don't think that as many people are actually look, back in the day, there were CDs. I recorded my tracks on CDs and sold them. I mean, and then did the covers, right? Did the graphics for the covers. It's so nutty. But that's how we did it. And this is from a music performance that I did. So all of this can be seen. All of the stuff that I worked on. I'm 46 years old. Like, I hope I know what I'm doing at this stage, right? Like, I would be worried if I didn't know what I was doing. Hence the reason why I call myself a director at my age. Okay. And I put everything together. So that's what a director does. Okay. Let me go back to the books. So learn the back end of your, instead of just playing with the games, maybe learn how to make a video game. That would be even better. You could make more money making a video game, honestly, than to play a video game and somehow win. I don't know. That's just my take on it. I'm not a gamer. It was nothing I really enjoyed doing, but I mean, I was around people who played video games back in the day, but we had older stuff. Our technology was different. We don't always have the newest updated gaming stuff. For me, it wasn't about games. It was about the technology. Like, I wanted to learn how to use all these like cool new things that were coming out. Okay, so these are the 2 books. So if you want to have a copy for yourself to see what I've done, and don't forget, everything that I produce myself, copyright restrictions. So basically all rights reserved by my company, which is an LLC, Nomadics. Okay, and that's how it goes. I created Nomadics in South Africa, and the article that's located at the Smithsonian has my project down as Nomadics. So I kept Nomadics as the name of the company that I started, right? I registered. And I don't hire people because I know that I can just do it myself. I didn't hire people to make this for me. Okay. Okay. Just want to see, it's not going to be a long day. I'm very tired today. Okay, so we're going to just do a really short video. And I'm basically doing the better quality sound is coming from the other side. I'm not doing a music class project. Okay, everything that I do is worth thousands of dollars. So I'm not going to just do everything and hand everything over for free. That's just not what I do on this channel at all. I have lots of videos. I discuss lots of different pinpoint sections. If you want to build a business, I have a whole bunch of things. Figuring out what you want to do and being creative as an art teacher, how to go about doing that. But you need to follow everything. I mean, I would recommend starting off with the art section. Like, start with the art section and see like the kind of things and color contrast and theory, color theory, and how I haven't done sketch stuff. I mean, I did a painting, but I'm not going to sit and like that. Like this kind of stuff, I would charge people to take classes with me, right? This is the next level to the arts, right? Is learn how to create a book and get it as a digital format. I don't think you need to necessarily have books anymore. I think you can just create a website and then sell it. I think that's the take now, or takeaway. I think people are making good money off of this digital stuff. I just started this. I was actually selling on Poshmark. But digital seems to be the way to go. So we're going to test this new venture out and see how this works. Okay, I don't know. Can you link that? Oh, that's the Smithsonian article. Oh, yeah, and then it links to the Smithsonian article. So that's cool. Once you get a digital copy, it directly links to the Smithsonian article, and you can see where and what that's about. Okay. So if you don't know what the Smithsonian is a museum or museums in the DC area where they have like gallery spaces and projects that they put together and artists coming in for discussions and all that wonderful stuff. So that's it. Okay, folks, I'm having a short day, keeping it simple today. Have a good one.